Good afternoon on a soggy, gray day. This is Seattle Now, coming to you from the KUOW newsroom, where we're pretty much all in rain boots today. I'm Paige Browning with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Monday, December 8th. Today was only the beginning of the atmospheric river, and the National Weather Service is warning people to be ready for major flooding throughout western Washington. Meteorologist Dustin Guy at the Weather Service says this atmospheric river is expected to dump several inches of rain on the lowlands and up to 10 inches on the mountains by week's end.
And then in addition to the river flooding, we'll be looking at urban and small stream flooding as well, just because of the heavy rainfall. It's going to take some time for all that water to drain off as well, so we'll be looking at probably some flooding as well around the metro area over the next 3 days.
The Skykomish River near Gold Bar could rise by 9 feet overnight. The Snoqualmie River and the Skagit River could reach major flood stage by tomorrow. If you're in those floodplains, officials want you to place sandbags on your property. People can get free sandbagging materials from the King County Flood Control District. Just go to the King County website to find out where you can pick up those items. Most of the pickup locations are self-serve and open 24/7. But possibly a bigger issue tonight is the wind. More than 3,500 utility customers were without power around 4 p.m. today across the greater Puget Sound region. This could change by the time you hear this. Those include 3,000 homes and businesses served by Puget Sound Energy and hundreds with Snohomish County PUD. Much of western Washington's under a wind advisory until 10 o'clock tonight, with gusts up to 30 miles per hour in Seattle and up to 55 miles an hour on the Pacific coast. Winds will be lighter tomorrow, but it'll still be breezy. Let the soccer countdown begin. Seattle area fans now know the official schedule for the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. With 6 games set to happen in Seattle, preparations are underway. Noelle Gasca has more info.
Several of Seattle's parks, Lumen Field, and SeaTac Airport are in the middle of renovations in anticipation of the 750,000 fans the city expects. Westlake Park closed in October for a redesign led by Seattle Parks and Recreation and the Seattle Parks Foundation. When it reopens in the spring, the park will have improved lighting and new landscaping. It's estimated to cost $3.7 million. Soccer pitches at Seattle University and the University of Washington also got a refresh this summer. They'll be used as training sites for teams. Seattle hosts its first match in the tournament on June 15th at Lumen Field. Noelle Gasca, KUOW News.
One of those 6 World Cup matches will celebrate the LGBTQ community, despite featuring teams from 2 countries that have severe anti-gay laws. The Pride match on June 26 will have the national teams from Iran and Egypt. Iran has a maximum punishment of the death penalty for homosexuality, and Egypt frequently suppresses same-sex rights. Seattle organizers picked the June 26th game for the Pride match before teams were assigned. The Pride match branding has not been endorsed by FIFA. In business today, it's all about speed. Amazon's testing what it calls Amazon Now in certain areas of Seattle and Philadelphia, promising 30-minute delivery for some household essentials and groceries. 30 minutes is all you'd have to wait for that emergency toilet paper or green onions. After launching that just last week, the Seattle Times reports Amazon's already looking to expand the test to Snohomish County and the East Side. One Amazon Now delivery costs about $14 or $4 for Prime members. Moving over to our health beat, maternal deaths in Washington state rose in 2021 and 2022 compared to previous years. That's according to a report released by the state health department today. More on that from Eilish O'Neill.
The state panel found that in those 2 years, 51 people died of pregnancy-related causes. That's a rate of about 30 per 100,000 live births. The panel also found that most of those deaths could have been prevented, whether by better access to health care, more culturally competent care, or by community supports such as doula care, home visiting programs, or housing and food assistance. The report pointed out that deaths are the tip of the iceberg. For every death, there are many pregnant people who aren't getting the health care or support that they need. The leading causes of death included accidental overdose, cardiovascular conditions, and, in 2021, COVID. Eilish O'Neill, KUOW News.
On to our immigration beat. 2 incidents with immigration enforcement officers are catching wide attention. 2 Democratic members of Washington's congressional delegation are calling on immigration authorities to release a Vancouver, Washington man who was mauled by an ICE agent's dog. 28-year-old Wilmer Toledo Martinez was detained last month. His wife videotaped the encounter after the mauling, which included her discussion with federal agents.
He needs we're going to have to get him seen.
Okay.
Right?
So where
for medical attention.
At the hospital or where?
We're going to go to the ICE facility.
Attorneys for Toledo Martinez say their client was not resisting arrest nor attempting to flee, and that he was not given prompt medical care. They also say he was brought to the U.S. without authorization at the age of 15. Senator Patty Murray and Congresswoman Emily Randall are calling for his release. And a longtime green card holder with significant medical issues will not be deported for now, thanks in part to a SeaTac protest last night.
Justice for KUOW G! Justice for KUOW G! Free KUOW G! Free KUOW G! Free KUOW G!
That sound from the Tonggol Migrante Facebook page, a national group focused on Filipino rights. Greggy Sorio, also known as KUOW G, was taken to SeaTac for deportation to Manila last night, but protesters say they convinced Philippine Airlines to cancel his flight because he's suffering health issues. Sorio had been at the Tacoma ICE facility since February after a prison sentence in Alaska for multiple charges that include assault and burglary. A judge ordered him deported in October. One more note on ICE agents today. Washington state lawmakers are proposing a bill to ban police from wearing face coverings. The Washington State Standard reports it mirrors a law already on the books in California. This pre-filed bill is backed by Democratic Representative Julio Cortez, who says that when people see masked federal agents, that creates intimidation and discourages community members from interacting with any law enforcement. Street bikes are sculptures in a new exhibit at the Museum of History and Industry. Motorcycles have been zipping around Seattle since they were invented more than a century ago, and much of that history has been shaped by women and the LGBTQ community. Resident biker Casey Martin reports.
Motorcycles are often called freedom machines. Wen Cruz says it makes sense why queer people have built community on 2 wheels. Cruz is the Seattle chapter president of the motorcycle club Dykes on Bikes.
Motorcycle riding has always kind of been an act of rebellion, and in a lot of ways, being queer is rebellion, just innately.
The story of the club's history is part of an exhibit at MOHAI called Kickstands Up. You can see dozens of bikes, like one ridden by one of the first women to professionally race, and a giant pink Harley owned by the woman who founded Eastside Harley-Davidson.
So much history here, so much I didn't know about the Pacific Northwest and the motorcycle culture here.
The exhibit runs through April. At MOHAI, I'm Casey Martin, KUOW News.
A couple pieces of college football news before we go. First, the University of Washington football team will end its season in California this weekend. The Huskies will take on Boise State in the Los Angeles Bowl on Saturday at 5. And for the second time in 2 seasons, the Washington State University Cougars will need a new head coach. Jimmy Rogers is leaving WSU to take a job at Iowa State after just 1 season in Pullman. Next time on Seattle Now, they had $20, and that was enough to buy this abandoned building. Now, what did the artists who bought it do with it? Part of the goal is housing.
What we hear now from the artists that we work with is that they want to work downtown, they want to live in the city, but they're just being priced out.
Hear more Tuesday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer today is Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and I'm Paige Browning, getting a writing assist today from Vaughn Jones. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See you tomorrow.